Good morning. Welcome to Red River Card Adventures. This is Meet Up with Mason. I'm your host, Mason. Okay, so today on the show we have an amazing fiddle player, Patty Kusterock. So good morning, Patty.
Good morning, Mason. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Well, today I'm going to ask you some questions.
Sounds good to me.
First question, how are you today?
I'm still great. It's a beautiful day. It's great to be here joining you on the show.
Yeah, all right. Second question, can you tell me a little about yourself?
Sure thing. I'm a fiddle player. I've been playing since I was 4 years old. That's a really long time. And I do it for a living. I teach, I perform, I do all kinds of stuff, little shows. I grew up playing at old folks' homes. I competed in contests all my life, and the fiddle, I don't remember not ever playing it, so it's something that I've always done.
That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. So can you tell me about the history of the fiddle?
The fiddle itself, it's actually, the big question that I always get asked is what's the difference between a fiddle and a violin? The answer is there's no difference at all in the instrument. Did you know that?
No, actually, I didn't know that.
You know, you thought there were two different instruments? The difference is the kind of music that you play. So this is, I play fiddle music, which is for dancing, for people to get their toes tapping and to have fun with, whereas a violin is played more for youth that you see in a symphony orchestra. It's for listening and plays beautiful music, but exactly the same instruments. A lot of times when people play a violin, it's a lot more expensive than a fiddle. And my fiddle, as you can see, it's got rosin on here. It's a little bit dirty. But they were made in years ago, I think back to the 16 or 1700s in Italy and France, Germany. This one was made in Germany, but it's fairly new. It was made in 1999, and it was brand new when I bought it. I've been the only owner, so it's been a good car for me, a good vehicle.
So what's the difference between Métis fiddle music and other music?
Well, Métis fiddle music is just a style. Me being Métis and living on the prairies here in Manitoba, we have a lot of dances, and there's square dancers that you see. I don't know if you've ever seen. They're always wearing fancy costumes, and the music that we play for that, I guess you would consider to be Métis because it's really rhythmic, it's hard driving music, and there's specific tunes that are considered to be Métis tunes as well, but basically it's the style of playing. There's all different styles of music across Canada. There's Cape Breton style, if you've ever heard of Ashley McIsaac or Natalie McMaster. They play more of a Scottish style. But the Métis style, we can take the tunes and we just drive them. We always say drive her hard. And we play it, and it makes you want to dance, even if you don't know how to dance. You want to dance.
All right, so what's the hardest thing to play on the fiddle or learn?
The hardest thing to learn, it depends on when you're learning. I have a lot of students. I teach a lot of kids. And the kids, I find, pick up really quickly because there's not a whole lot clogging a kid's brain when you're 7, 8 years old or 9 years old. But adults, they have a lot more going on. They have to worry about paying bills and, going to work and stuff. So they got a lot of stuff messing up their brain. So they don't learn quite as fast as a kid would learn. So I'd say the hardest thing is just getting, everything has to be held properly to get a good tone. A lot of times you can hear the tone, if you hear a kid learning or an adult learning, you can hear it sound squeaky, and just kind of getting rid of all that. So that's the tough part.
All right. So what's the most fun song to play on the fiddle?
Oh man, it depends. For me, I love playing tunes that are a little bit faster. I like the reels or breakdowns, we call them, and it really gets the toes tapping. But I also like playing slow, beautiful waltzes too that are a little prettier and longer bows you're using. You're not moving so fast. So I kind of like everything really, and it changes on a monthly basis.
So have you won any awards?
I have. Like I said before, I've been competing ever since I was about 7 years old, I guess. And in the 90s, I entered the Canadian Grandmasters Fiddling Championships, and I won that title 3 years in a row. So I was the Canadian Grandmaster champion. I've also won a championship called the North American Championship. That was in Alberta quite a few years ago. And I've won some other stuff. I've been inducted into the North American Fiddlers Hall of Fame, which was really exciting for me. And I haven't competed, though, in about, at least 15 years. So those days are over.
So have you played in other countries?
I have. I've played in the States, of course, and I've played all over Canada. I've played in Paris, France, and I've played in Norway. So those are...
That's pretty interesting.
Very cool, yeah.
Norway?
Yeah. I have a friend that lives there. He's from Saskatchewan originally. He's a piano player, and he always played for all the fiddlers at the competitions here in Canada. And he went to Norway to do some shows, met a girl and fell in love and stayed there. And he asked me one time if I wanted to come out and do some fiddle shows with him. So I did, and I've done that twice now. It's great. And I've learned some Norwegian stuff and taught them some Canadian stuff that they're playing out there now. So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So how has COVID affected your teaching the fiddle?
Well, COVID, luckily for me, I work for a school division. I work for Frontier School Division, which is a wonderful, has a wonderful fiddle program. We teach in all these northern communities. We teach in places like Churchill and Gillam and God's Lake Narrows and Norway House. And I have 6 schools that I teach at, which are actually not too far from Winnipeg. I teach in Black River, Little Black River, and Hollow Water, and I teach out in Bissett, Gypsumville, a couple other ones as well. And so luckily I was able to continue to work for them during the pandemic when all the schools were closed. We did some online stuff and did some work that we were kind of having on a wish list that we wanted to do and never had time to do. We had the time all of a sudden, so we were doing some of that. And I was able to go online and do some teaching as well to students all over the world, and also do some online concerts. So festivals that got canceled, a lot of them went online. Fiddle camps as well that I was hired to teach at, some of them went online, so we just did everything online. And luckily, being a musician, it's actually a little bit easier to continue to make your living during a pandemic than if I was something like a hairdresser. We can't really do anything unless there's people in front of you, right? So I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to keep working with my fiddle.
Right, that's cool. That's cool. So how long have you been playing fiddle?
Well, since I was 4 years old. You want to know how old I am?
Yeah.
How old do you think I am?
You look 40?
Oh, I love you. I'm 50.
Oh.
And so I've been playing, you're good at math, how many years?
46 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah,
that's a long time.
It is a long time. And unfortunately, I probably will never retire.
So do you play any other instruments?
I play piano. I can play, I chord to fiddle music on the piano. So that's about all I can do. I took classical piano for a couple years, but had a hard time with that. I try to play a little bit of guitar, but it's really, I find it hard on my fingers. Fiddle is a little easier on the fingers. And that's about it. Fiddle's my main instrument, though.
Fiddle? So you just played fiddle straight up?
Yeah, fiddle and a little bit of piano.
A little bit? So can you play like any Beethoven songs?
I can. I did take some. Yeah, I took classical. I did some classical exams when I was a teenager, and I failed. I went up to I was doing my grade 8 classical exam, and I failed it. And on the sheet, my adjudicator that was at the university judging me and my performance and everything told me that I played too much like a fiddler. So that's when I realized that I don't need to play this classical music. I'm a fiddler. They even told me that, so that's when I kind of gave up the classical and continued with the fiddling a little bit heavier.
All right, so can you show me how to play?
I think so. Have you ever played before?
I mean, when it was COVID and it was in June, we played like the tiniest bit.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'll give you a crash course, all right?
All right.
So first thing I'm going to do is teach you how to hold a bow.
Okay.
But I'm going to teach you with a pencil.
Okay.
So take a pencil. Okay, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I am right.
Okay, perfect. So show me how you would hold that as if you're writing with it.
Like this?
Perfect. Okay, so you notice how your thumb is bent, okay, and this finger is bent. So all you got to do is keep your thumb where it is and just move that finger up so this big knuckle is on the top. So you would just, I don't want to touch you, but put this part here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, not the tip, but right on the, there you go. And you're just going to kind of wrap it around like that. Then you're going to take these two fingers, okay, your middle finger and your ring finger, and just kind of drop them across. And your pinky sits on top, and you're holding a bow. Okay, so if you turn it like that, and you notice that your fingers are pointing to the right, right? So the way you play, you're going to take the tip, which is the eraser on yours, and you're going to aim it to your left shoulder. So you're going to go like this. Can you do that? So you notice which part of your arm is moving? Only from your elbow, right? So one thing you don't want to do is get going like this, okay? So just do that. That's wrong. If you feel like that, that's wrong. So just from your elbow, good. And that's the motion we make on the strings. If we're holding a violin, this is the bow. It's going to go straight across the strings. So your hand, your wrist kind of moves like that and like that. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so that's the hardest part, is learning how to hold the bow.
All right.
So we're going to actually give you the bow.
Okay.
Exchange the pencil. It's kind of the same thing. So there you go. Grab my bow. Okay. So the thumb is going to go, this is called the frog here.
This part?
Yeah, this is called the frog. And you're going to put your thumb on the outside of the frog. And you know what I tell my little students? That if you hold it up to your ear, you can hear it go ribbit, ribbit. And that's how I get them to be quiet in class, because they're listening really hard. Okay, so you're going to put your thumb on the outside of the frog here. Okay? And then remember what I said about your index finger with that knuckle up there? Yeah, and you wrap it around. Take these two fingers, drop it over, and your pinky sits on top. Look at that, first try. You're a natural. Okay, so here's that motion we're going to make. We're not going to try to touch our shoulder with this, because we're not going to be able to, but it's going to go kind of straight out to your left. Yeah, good. And a few little exercises. Hold your arm straight out, okay, and we're going to do windshield wipers. So you're going to go to the right, yeah, and you're going to go to the left. Good, and your pinky kind of stops it from flopping, and your thumb kind of stops it from flopping down here. Yeah, and sometimes you just have to kind of keep going and keep rejigging it. There you go. Awesome. All right, so you ready to try the fiddle?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
we're going to get you holding this. Now we hold this on your shoulder.
Okay.
Okay, and this is a chin rest here, but it's not really for your chin. It's more for your jaw. Exactly, not your cheek, but kind of your jaw.
Like this?
There you go. All right, and you can keep your hand here for now. And just kind of hold it there. Good. So this is a smaller fiddle. This is a 3/4 size, and you're holding it perfectly. It's on that perfect angle. And what happens is your bow goes on the strings. These are the strings. Okay, there's 4 of them. And this is the bridge and the fingerboard. So your bow is going to go halfway in a straight line. Good. Now, do you remember that motion I said, just from the elbow down? We're going to try that.
Like right, okay.
On any string. Yeah, pick any string. Just pick one string. So that's the highest string. That's the E string. Try it on the next string. That's the A string. Good. And you can do even longer. Do a little bit longer bows. Good. Now try the next string. That's the D string. Yeah. And the G is the low string. Nice job. Okay. So that's not bad at all. So you're holding it the same way I am. It's on that nice angle. Now we're going to take our hand. Okay, your hand is okay here? We're going to do a song called the Open String Blues.
Okay.
Okay? So this one is, you play 8 notes on every string. So we want to start about the middle of your bow, okay? And you want to sit up nice and straight so you don't hit your leg. It's going to kind of go out. You got to kind of work it so you're not going to hit your body. Okay, and we're gonna aim to go from the middle of the bow to the tip of the bow. So we're gonna go and then back up. Okay, Sorry, my microphone is vibrating a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do 8, and remember, right between the bridge and the fingerboard. So you don't want to let it slide down there. And what's going to happen, you might find that it's sounding kind of wispy, like that. That's just because you're not pressing hard enough. So if you take that index finger and press a little bit harder, okay, it's going to sound a lot clearer. So here we go. We're going to do 8 on the E. Ready? Go. Good. And then we're going to go on the A string, and I forgot to tell you, we start with a down bow. So down means going from the middle to the tip of the bow. Okay, so here we go. 8 on the A. Ready? Go. And over to the D string, same thing, starting with a down bow. Ready? Go. G, same thing. All that twice, okay? And then at the end, I'm going to say shimmer. And what you do when I say shimmer is you put your bow on right at the tip, okay? No, you don't want to be on that side of the bridge. Try it, see what it sounds like. No, put it on the other side of the bridge and see what it sounds like. That's why we don't want it there. Hear that squeak? We don't like that sound, right? So you're going to put it right on the tip of the bow, okay? The tip up here, yeah? And you're going to shimmer, which means like this. Straight up like that for a big finish. Yeah. All right. So that's what we do at the end. So we do 8 on each string. That's it. Yeah. 8 on each string, and we do all that twice. And then we're going to do the shimmer for the big ending. Okay. Right. So I'll play it with you the first time, and then the second time I'll chord along with you. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Ready? This is our duet. Mason and Patty. 1, 2. And try and use a lot of bows. So all the way from the middle of the bow to the tip. Okay, and then back up to the middle. So try and aim for that. Okay, good bow. Just fix your bow hold a little bit. You don't want to be grabbing it like a claw. Good. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. That's when you take a bow because the crowd's going wild. Good job. So you want to try it by yourself?
Sure.
You can do it. You can do it. Okay. So how many on each string do we play? 8. You got it. And we do all that twice, right?
All right. Yes.
I'll kind of guide you if you get lost. But
right.
So ready? I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, go. Here we go. Big finish. And to the sky. Good job. Wow. That's awesome. That's probably the quickest lesson I've ever taught.
Wow.
Do you have any questions? Do you think all the music is played on open strings? We call it open when we don't play our fingers. But your next lesson, if we were to have another lesson, would be getting your fingers down here and using them to play different notes. You've seen a piano, right? Yeah. A piano has 88 keys on it, and they're all, well, there's only 7 notes on those that keep repeating. 7 of the white ones, and then there's the black ones that are kind of in between notes, but that's how we get the music. So we played open string blues because we don't play any fingers on there, but we play. We change our fingers all the time. Oh, this microphone, sorry. So do you want to try using your fingers?
Sure.
A lot of times what I do is put tapes down so it's a lot easier, but I can just try and get you to see what it feels like to change a note. Yeah, so what we want to do is just bring your hand down so that it's near the bottom. Yeah, all right, and we don't want to hold it like this. We don't want to hold it like a pizza. We want to hold it so your wrist is out, okay, like that, and you can kind of have a little hole right here that you can put your bow through. So that's why we don't want to be going like this. Yeah, so we want that wrist out. You don't want holding there. Here we go. There. Yeah, and there should be a little hole there. I don't know if it's going to be that big of a hole yet, but that's okay. So what happens when you put your fingers down is you play always on the tips of your fingers. Okay? So this is finger 1, first finger, second finger, third finger. Okay? So if we take the second string, the A string, and play open A, and then we play the first finger, and just go back and forth. Can you try that? Yeah, and we want to still keep the bow up there. Okay, and we're just going to make sure we play the same note, so that's going to be right about there. Good. Go ahead. There, you played it. So we're going to just take it off and play open. Yeah, just take the finger off. Just lift it up a little tiny bit. Yeah, so it's not touching. So you're going to play open A. And you're going to play 1 on A. And then open A. And then 1. Good. Now you're going to play 1, 2. Okay, so you're 2. Yeah, right about there. So try 1. Yeah, just the 1. Yeah. 2. 1. 2. Good. Then you're going to play 2, and 3 goes right beside 2. So it's going to sound like this. Like that. There you go. And that's how it changes the pitch. So when I say pitch, that means the note's getting higher or lower. So I don't want to over fill your brain with stuff. So you learned the open string blues.
Open string
you learned
blues,
how to
and use my fingers.
Use your fingers, yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So just think, I was 4 years old when I learned all that.
Wow.
That's a long time ago.
So, can you perform for me?
I sure can. Yeah.
All right.
So how about I play you a good Métis tune? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'll play you Big John McNeil.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that one before? That's one that the square dancers really like to dance to. That's probably one of the most requested fiddle tunes that you'll ever hear.
That was really cool.
Thank you.
That sounded really good. Wow.
So we'll do that at your next lesson. How's that?
All right. So thank you for showing me and playing that amazing tune and how that was insane, for coming on to the show. And see you guys next time on Meet Up with Mason. Bye.